Let's see what happens. It's always a bit of a weird start, isn't it? You're never sure quite when these things connect or not.
Yeah, I've had the notification. We're there.
We're there. Okay. Good morning, Facebook land. Welcome to this little live session. It's Neil here. I'm here with Vicky and also with the wonderful Will Todd.
Good morning.
Who's a friend of the Music Centre, friend of the university, and an honorary alumni of the university.
I have that on the wall. My certificate is on the wall.
Is it?
It's one of my proudest possessions, truly. It really is.
So you're making us blush, Will. Yeah, Will is involved in Inspiration Week, which we're running this coming week, starting on Sunday. Will is going to be running a session all about using his fantastic music on Monday at 6 o'clock. So hello, Will. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. You know, sitting in my habitual place here. This is actually where I write my music, at this piano.
That's where the magic happens.
Nice, and is where the magic happens, yeah.
Right. And how does the magic happen? What do you sit down and say, I've got to write, or do you?
Well, yeah. Funny enough, I've been working on some materials about this, and so I've been thinking quite a lot about the writing process, and I keep on coming back for me to this idea of playfulness. That in order to get the best out of myself, I need to remember that I write music because I enjoy music and I enjoy the shapes of music and I enjoy literally playing around. Because, you know, I learned the piano as a kid sort of by experimentation. Quite a long time before I had formal music lessons, I'd become familiar with the instrument and its sounds. And to me, actually, it was like the best toy ever. When I was growing up, so I always work at the piano when I'm having ideas, and the thing I've learned is, and this is what I want everyone to think about if they're trying to write anything, is don't be frightened if you don't get ideas. You've just got to keep trying to have ideas and literally playing around, because every single song or bit of music I've written has basically started the same way, that I'm improvising at the piano, thinking about a piece, and either some chords will come together or a little melody will come together, something like that. And as soon as I've got that way in to the composition, then I can sort of build everything from there. But I have to feel like that first bit of material is sort of comes from this joy, if you like.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember working with a fantastic English singer-songwriter called Sam Brooks, and he was telling these youngsters about his songwriting, how you've just got to keep generating ideas, because it's like for the good ideas to come, you can't get to the good ideas quickly. You've got to get rid of all the bad ideas first.
So true. It's so true. So many songwriters say this, and it's certainly my experience. And it can be very frustrating. I get that, particularly if you're working under time pressure, that you start thinking, I've got to have an idea. Actually, I've learned even more under time pressure to go for the playfulness. Because if you start trying to, you know, build a bridge with the wrong piece of material, your bridge will fall down. But if you have the right piece of material, the whole thing will almost build itself. So that's sort of my rule. But sometimes I'm like, I'm going for days sometimes. Other times, and these are the really good days, you might write 2 or 3 pieces in a morning.
Yeah.
You like that?
Brilliant. Those are the good days. And then you just drink tea all afternoon.
Actually, you know, My Lord Has Come, which is, you know, lots of people know my carol, My Lord Has Come. It was written here at this piano, and literally, I was thinking about Durham Cathedral, because that's a space I know very well, and I was thinking about sort of Christmas music, and I was literally just playing around with the idea of a drone in a big space. So I'm playing the sort of the G sound like this, and just thinking about the space really, and improvising a carol almost, just imagining. Da, 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 da. And the second I had that, I thought, yes, there's a piece in that, because you've got that sort of echoing effect. that move there, which sort of the fourth against the major third, somehow has something that I felt I could turn into a piece. But I could have sat there all day and played the G drone and written utter rubbish over the top.
Do you know my story about that piece, Will?
Oh yes, please.
I was pregnant with my son, and I attended a rehearsal. It was on the Monday evening before graduation started on the Tuesday. We rehearsed that piece because we were getting ready for Christmas, because graduation was later that year, it was in November, and it caused me to go into labour. Because that's the piece we were rehearsing, and quite literally, you know, as I travelled home, I realised that's what it was.
Oh my goodness! I hope everything then went smoothly.
Oh, absolutely, it so did. But that's why it holds a very special part, you know, to me, because of that's what it was.
Gosh, that's a very special thing to share with me. Thank you.
So, Will, you've had a relationship with the University of Winchester for a while. Vicky, how did that start from our point of view? Because this is before my time.
Yes, it started. He'll crow about it because he'll enjoy this. It started through my dad, who had encountered you through I'm not quite sure. I think it might have been through the summer school.
I think it was. I think that was the first time I met him. Yeah.
And he highlighted your music to me. I fell in love with it, and then I brought it into the university, and it moved on from there. So.
I mean, the first time I came down, I think I'm right, was when we were working on the Bring Light piece, weren't we?
Yes, that's right. And we had a session in the United Church in Winchester, and we were making rehearsal tracks and backing tracks and things. Yeah,
we had a fantastic day, didn't we? Sort of learning it first of all and trying it out, and then making the learning tracks. Yeah. We've had a really strong, and then actually to do that piece. In the cathedral
with the orchestra,
with the full orchestra, was like, whoa.
Amazing.
That must have been some fun times writing those orchestral parts when someone
says, actually, I have to say,
you need an orchestra for this, and you were like, yes please.
That performance, that whole concert was lovely, wasn't it? Was it the Magnificat in the second half, the Rutter that Hannah did, and that was just fantastic as well. But the whole concert was wonderful, and it was just so much fun to direct 300 singers and an orchestra in that piece. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I think it was kind of done out of the fact that there would be an orchestra in front of you because we were going straight onto the Rutter, and they might as well do something while they're sitting there.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember because the various emails went back and forth, didn't it? I was saying, well, do you think we could do an orchestration? Should I do an orchestration for this? And you were saying, well, yeah, that'd be great, but there's going to be no rehearsal time at all, so it's got to be like ultra simple. Actually, most good orchestrations are simple, really. But we had a fantastic band. Was it Southern
Symphonia?
Southern Symphonia, wasn't it? They were very good, and they it was a doddle to them, but it just made such a fantastic sound in the space.
Beautiful, yeah.
Brilliant. So, Will, thank you so much for being part of our Inspiration Week. We're really excited. Yours is we've got a couple of, yours is a third workshop, I believe, but it's with the first one with, which is with one of our kind of more established ensembles. And we're really excited. I'm really excited to see what happens. So we've kind of said that it's about the kind of joy of singing and about trying to get people, because let's be honest, we're all in a bit of a funk at the moment. We're all a bit down and we need some light in our lives. And you've written quite a lot of music all about that, about bringing light to people's lives. That's one of the reasons why, Mass in Blue, for instance, is such a well-sung piece, is because it's so kind of vibrant and exciting. And in the last lockdown, you wrote a piece for this very kind of moment. So it feels appropriate that we should kind of delve into that aspect of your music. Can you kind of say us a bit about Rainbow Shining and about how that came to be?
Yes, so the song is called Like a Rainbow Shining, and it came to life during the first lockdown last year, when someone I know who had in fact commissioned my Passion music back in 2018 a lady called Catherine Antcliffe, and she rang me up and she said, Will, you need to write a piece to sort of cheer people up. And you know, a nice song, and to be honest, you know, we were all in a state of sort of panic and distress, and everything was being cancelled around us, wasn't it? You know, well, Mass in Blue, of course, was one of the casualties we had, and frankly, I didn't really feel like writing a song much at that point. She said, no, it's really important to write a hopeful song, and we can put it out there for free use for choirs to, you know, to use. And I thought, well, it's a brilliant idea to do that, you know, because choir directors need stuff. And so I worked on this song, Like a Rainbow Shining, and I actually said to my youngest daughter, I said, what should my song be about? And she's my go-to for text ideas. She said, well, it's got to be about the rainbows that everyone at that time was drawing and putting in windows in support of the NHS. So hence the title, Like a Rainbow Shining. And you know, it's a simple song. It tries to sort of connect us with the rainbow idea, but also the idea of love happening across distances, because that was one of the first things that we all noticed was people's isolation, the fact that we couldn't easily see people. So the lyrics really reference that, and the fact that although we're apart, like the different colours in a rainbow, that when we're together, when we can see them together, we become this special, amazing, miraculous thing. And it's got a nice simple tune, I hope. So it's a nice, simple thing, and then it builds up to the shining moment in the middle where everyone's singing. So, and the nice thing I was able to do with it, two things. I was, with the budget that my commissioner gave me, we were able to record it really well with a mixture of some professional singers and also youth singers and singers I know from around the world who were happy to help me out. So we were able to take a nice recording, and then a guy called Leo Mansell made a beautiful film. And I hadn't worked with him before. He came recommended by someone else, but he was fantastic to work with. And actually, it was a project at that time close to his heart, because his wife works in the NHS, and they were sort of in the midst of all of this turmoil. So he made that beautiful film. It's on YouTube, and Classic FM actually agreed to do the sort of live rollout of that, which was great, and it reached a lot of people. And what was brilliant about that was that literally in the coming sort of weeks after that, hundreds and hundreds of people downloaded the sheet music and the tracks, because there's different versions. There was a unison version and an SAB version, SATB, and rehearsed it and used it. And even better than that, lots of people made their own films with it. So if you go on YouTube, there's all these lovely films from like pensioner choirs, kids choirs. Someone asked if they could translate it into Spanish, and they've done it. You know, so I felt really delighted that something that I made was able to be of use during this stressful time.
Well, it's a wonderful piece. I really enjoyed watching the video when that came out, and I agree with you. It was a really kind of timely, and I think it will feel timely again. And whilst the rainbows don't have the same kind of meaning to us in this lockdown, the general message of the song absolutely does, and we do need some light in our lives, especially at the beginning of our semester, when many of our students are just kind of looking at them, head in their hands, like, this isn't my university year that I hoped for. So hopefully we can
and I very much get that. I have a son who just started university at Southampton this year. He hummed and hawed about whether to go at all with the situation, and I think he made a very brave decision to go. I think all the students who've started have been really brave. I think things will get massively better in their university experience, but at the moment it's really frustrating and it's very difficult, and all those things which are part of the sort of the university folklore, lots of those things haven't been able to happen, particularly in music. We notice it, don't we? Concerts that we haven't been able to do, rehearsals that we haven't been able to do. So I think people are doing brilliantly to just keep going at the moment.
Well, thank you so much. We're really looking forward to Monday, 6 o'clock on Monday for those of us in King Alfred Singers and who want to join. Really looking forward to it, and thank you for your time today. And to anyone who's watching, thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good rest of your day, Will.
Thank you.
Have a good restful weekend. You'll need your energy for Monday. And that's it. Bye, everybody.